PDP crisis: why we opposed Ayu'S sack, discarded Wike's option, Atiku campaign. Atiku Abubakar Presidential Campaign Organization yesterday explained why the People's Democratic Party (PDP) explored different options from what Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State and other stakeholders preferred in resolving the crisis rocking the party. The campaign also said the sacking of the national chairman of the party, Senator Ayu'S, would create constitutional crisis for the party, which would snowball into greater problems than what the party was currently faced with. The main issue being canvassed by the stakeholders, it said, was the stepping down of the national chairman, which, according to it, has now overtaken by events following the vote of confidence by the National Executive Committee (NEC) of the party. People may misinterpret it to mean calling the bluff of certain stakeholders, but that is far from it, because the party leadership examined the issues vis-a-vis the provisions of the party's constitution as amended in 2017. Spokesperson for the campaign, Mr. Charles Ayu'S, stated, "When you look at that constitution, there are principal officers called the National Working Committee of the party, led by the national chairman, and in the order of hierarchy, the deputy national chairman, who must also come from same zone with the national chairman, is next in line. The third in line is the national secretary, and when you look at these positions, the national chairman is from the north, the second in command is also from the north by the virtue of the position of the party's constitution. In section 45 of the party's constitution, in the event of removal or resignation of the national chairman, the national deputy chairman takes over and acts in the position of that national chairman pending when the party is able to organize another election or do a NEC meeting to be able to take a decision as to how to rearrange the hierarchy of the party." Ayu'S, who featured on an Arise news program, said, "Because the positions were elective positions, even if Ayu'S were to step down for power to come to the south, the provisions of the constitution of the party would also be offended," the spokesperson said. "That can only happen if you can also take a decision to remove the deputy national chairman of the party, who the lot immediately falls on by provisions of the law. Even if the party is able to solve the puzzle by bringing both national chairman and deputy to south, the third person in the hierarchy of the National Working Committee of the party is the national secretary, and that is in the south, specifically Senator Samuel Ayu'S from Imo State. Now, if you decide to bring these two positions to the south, have you also made arrangements to take the national secretary to the north? Because of these legal impediments, the party examined it that, given the time that we have, which is just about 6 months to the general election, that it may likely snowball into some form of crisis that could trigger a whole lot of discomfort within the party if we proceed to begin to make these changes, that there is the tendencies that the party may be embroidered in a crisis that would be worse than the one we are seeing at the moment. That greater crisis is what the ruling APC is waiting to happen, but the leadership of the party is intelligent enough, and I'm happy that Governor Nyesom Wike and other leaders appreciate the need for the party to move as a whole into the 2023 general elections. He further said, "It was on the basis of this that the party decided to look at what was possible at the moment, and that gave room for the resignation of Senator Wali Jibrin and subsequent emergence of Senator Adolphus Wabara as Chairman Board of Trustees. The emergence of Wabara in the South to join the vice presidential candidate and the national secretary had created some form of balance in the interim," Ayu'S said. "But what is most important is that there is a bigger elephant here, which is winning the 2023 general elections, because Nigerians are looking up to the PDP to rescue the nation from where we are at the moment. I'm convinced that our leaders who have been craving for these changes would appreciate the fact that the party is listening. But because of time, probably when the party may have won the elections in 2023, by the grace of God, we can now proceed to make some of these alterations and may not be injurious to our quest to win the general elections. On the performance of Governor Ifeanyi Okowa and the value he brings to the ticket as vice presidential candidate, Aniagu, who is Information Commissioner in Delta State, said Okowa had performed tremendously with his 5-point agenda, adding that job creation through skill acquisition had been profound. The spokesperson noted Okowa had improved the standard of living of the people by reducing poverty in the state, which attracted National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) ranking as the second least poor state in the country in 2018. On infrastructural development, he said Okowa has constructed well over 1,833 kilometers of roads with over 900 kilometers of drains across the 3 senatorial districts. But what is most important to us is what we have done in the creeks of Delta area that were hitherto referred to as very difficult terrains to develop. We've made a whole lot of impact in that region, which is why we are enjoying a whole lot of peace in the Niger Delta, Aniagu said. For a very long time now, we've been able to ensure that our brothers and sisters in the creeks are carried along, and this is the one thing that our principal, the presidential candidate, saw and said, I need a partner who is progressive in nature, a partner that can address the issues of the youth, and a partner that can help address the issues of unity of our country, because Delta is a microcosm of Nigeria where you have diverse ethnic groups. When we live in unity as a country, you will discover that we'll return to winning ways. All these other symptomatic malaise in our country will be solved. Because issue of corruption, bad economy, insecurity, they happen because of our diversity was badly mismanaged by the APC. Meanwhile, the Ayu'S-led National Working Committee of the PDP and Atiku have reached out to the chairman of the party's board of trustees to intervene in assuaging Wike and his aggrieved colleagues. Sunday Vanguard learned that the party and presidential candidates will make the final list of members and leadership of the campaign council public when a substantial number of aggrieved party members are brought on board. A highly placed member of the party's NEC, who spoke in confidence, said, "As a party, we really want to put the past behind us and move forward. The vote of confidence on the National Working Committee by the NEC was to send a clear message to our distractors, especially the outgoing All Progressive Congress regime, who have been desperate to cash in on our internal disagreement. In spite of everything that has happened, the PDP is one big family. We do have our issues without a doubt, but we'll resolve them. The list of the members of the campaign council is ready, but we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's and ensuring that the housekeeping issues, such as the reconciliation we've been talking about, has been sorted out before making it public."